Morning, everyone. Hope are having a great Wednesday morning. I've actually just come back from walking 5Ks with my dog this morning, so I'm a little bit out of breath. For those of you that have seen the channel before, you might have noticed I've changed a few things in the background. There's a few more lights, and I think I'm now starting to feel a lot happier with it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. So on today's show, I thought I would go through a simple lead gen framework to help you generate leads in your business. Now, there are so many different ways to do this, but I thought I would kind of look at what we probably can call now the traditional way of doing it online. So let's get into the show. So for those of you that might not know me, my name is Jason Kruger, and I help heart-centered businesses build and automate their online marketing systems. So as I've said, in today's video, I'm looking at a simple lead gen framework, and what I'm hoping to do today is to kind of go through some kind of key elements that you're going to need to build this framework. But then once you've got that, then you can then start driving traffic to it and start generating leads in your business. Now, you can then add to this framework as you start to grow. But for now, I just want to kind of give you the first few steps so that you can actually get started with this online. So with that said, let me show you the framework that I'm talking about. And it's this. So as you can see, there's a few steps in this whole process, or kind of key elements that you're going to need. Now, you might have heard people talking about a sales funnel, and that kind of is the whole process when you're giving extra steps to someone once they might have first signed up with you. But the first steps that I'm going to be looking at first, before we even dive into all the different elements that you're going to need, is your ideal client. Now, why do people harp on about this? And no matter what online marketing course you might have looked at, etc., everyone talks about creating your ideal client avatar. Now, why is this important? The main reason is, without this, you don't actually know who you're marketing to. If you can identify who your ideal client is, you can then make sure that your marketing is focused to these people, which then will make sure that anything now that we create going forward will be successful. If you don't do this, the problem you're going to be having is you're going to be then just talking to everyone. And when you start doing that, nothing's really going to work, because no one's really going to resonate with you because you're talking to everyone. You want to make sure that your marketing is focused on those specific people that you know that you can help and that are going to get the most benefit from you. So how do you go about looking at how do you go about creating your client avatar? Well, for me, I actually started looking at who my current clients are and saying, who is it that I actually enjoy working with, and what else can, am I solving a problem for them? A lot of your ideal clients are going to have a specific pain point in their business that they're going to need help with. Now, you need to look at this pain point and see, is it something that I can help them with? And if you can do that, then you're on the road to success. You need to look at their pain points. Not just that, but what are their aspirations? What are they trying to do in their business? As well as what are the goals that they're trying to achieve. Now, when you're trying to look at how you actually identify this, I've actually got a few notes here. And the thing to start looking to see who they might be is what might they be interested in? What are the top websites that they're looking at? Who might they be following? Especially in the online marketing world, what are the big names that they are, who are they following? What podcasts might they be listening to? What channels on YouTube might they be watching? Once you start looking at that, you can then start forming a bit of an idea of who your ideal client is and what they might be interested in, and who they might be looking at to find answers in their own business. Now, it's imperative that you do this, and you can then start narrowing it. So you can even look at, gender, age, but then again, books that they might be reading, magazines. And once you have all of that together, you can then start formulating your client avatar. Now, are you going to get it right the first time? No. It's something that evolves as you go along. Mine has evolved as well as I've been in business, because you evolve, your business grows, and you start shifting on who you might want to be helping as well. So that client avatar is always going to be something that you need to review. Now, once you have that, what is the next step? Now, with the next step for me, and it will be what you can see in this diagram, is your lead magnet or your offer. Is this lead magnet or that you're going to offer something that's really going to be helping your ideal client? Is it going to solve a pain? Now, unfortunately, what some people make the mistake of is that they create this lead magnet first, and they say, okay, I'm going to start building this lead magnet, and kind of forget what it is that they're trying to achieve. The better way to look at creating your lead magnet is, what service or product are you offering your ideal client to solve their pain? Help them with their goals, with their ambitions going forward. Are you actually selling these at the moment? Because if you're not, then it's going to be harder to look at your lead magnet at the beginning, because your lead magnet is the starting point of the journey that they will take with you. So you need to kind of map out what their journey is going to be. And ultimately, you want to look at what is the end point and kind of work backwards, because everything needs to flow from the beginning to the end. And it always helps if you are already selling that product or that service before you even create your lead magnet, because it makes sure that what you're doing is working and people are actually buying what you're selling. So once you have that kind of sorted, then you can look at your lead magnet and kind of work out what it is that you can offer them for free to get them to subscribe to your email list. Now, why do you want to build this email list? As you've probably heard, many people say the money is in the list. And that is very true. What you've got to realize is it's great having a Facebook page, Facebook groups, YouTube channels, Twitter followers, etc. But the problem you have with these is that you're renting space on these platforms. You don't actually own that traffic. You don't own those lists. One day, especially recently with Facebook changing their terms of use, something you posted they might not like, kick you off the platform. Now, all of a sudden, that business that you've created on Facebook is non-existent. So what you want to be able to do is create your own list, something that you control. Because once you have them on your list, then you can email your list with offers, etc., and get them to buy from you. And that's the best way to kind of grow your business, is building this list. And one of the best ways of doing this is generating this lead magnet. Now, your lead magnet doesn't have to be just a PDF. It could be an ebook, video, audio, a presentation. There's so many different things that you can create. But what you need to make sure is that it's something that you can create quickly, and you're not going to just sit there and procrastinate for 6 months because now you don't know how to create this lead magnet. You're good on video, but you don't know how to, write the report, and you just sit at your screen and nothing happens. So you need to make sure that it's a medium that you can create quickly, but is going to provide value to your clients. Now, once you've built this and you've got your lead magnet, the next step that you're going to need is a way to show this off. And the next step would be to create your landing page. Now, if you look at this diagram, this is this part here. The lead magnet and landing page kind of all work in sync. Your lead magnet is there to help attract people, but you're attracting them to a landing page where you're going to be giving them the benefits of this lead magnet and why they need to give you their name and email address. And once they've done that, you then deliver that PDF or that lead magnet, whatever it is. So the next step that you're going to need is this landing page. Now, there's various ways to build this. You can use landing page software like Lead Pages, Convertory. I actually created a video yesterday, so if you look on my YouTube channel, you'll be able to find that, where I actually compare the two to see which one you might want to use. You can also create these on your websites, but be warned, creating them on your websites is great, but a landing page by definition gives the person one action to complete. And most often when you're creating this on your website, there are going to be other distractions on there. The navigation at the top, for instance, you send them to the landing page, but then they see something up in the navigation that piques their interest. They click on that, they leave the landing page, and they never put in their information. So a landing page should only have one goal, and that's to get them to sign up for that lead magnet. Now, once they sign up for that lead magnet, they then go to a thank you page. Now, before they get to the thank you page, they're actually opting in to your list. And the third thing that you're going to need is a CRM or autoresponder, where once they've put in their details, it gets put into the system, where you can then email them the link to download that report, as well as having a follow-up emails as well. I've seen too many times where people have just created their lead magnet, they've connected everything up, but all they've done is created one email, which is the email to subscribe with the download link for that lead magnet. But then there's no other follow-up emails. Once they've downloaded it, that's the time you want to then start introducing yourself to them. They've just downloaded your lead magnet, so any other follow-up emails could potentially send them more information regarding that lead magnet. Maybe try and start a discussion. Did you see point number 2? That is a really important point, and this is the reason why. So you're giving them a little bit more information other than what's actually in that lead magnet as well. But also, this is where you then can start putting them into a nurture sequence. Now, a nurture sequence is important because once they're on your list, you want to keep them kind of warmed up. You want to be sending them an email probably at least once a week, especially when you're starting. Creating loads and loads of emails can become quite daunting. So you want to at least send them one email a week, because if they continuously see you in their inbox when you do have other offers and all that, they're most likely going to then open that email. But also make sure that these emails are entertaining and it's not just the next boring email, because unfortunately then people are just going to forget about it, either unsubscribe from your list or just never open your emails. Now, systems that you can use for these CRM or autoresponders, there are plenty out there. There's ActiveCampaign, there's Infusionsoft, there's Aweber, there's MailChimp, there's ConvertKit. There are plenty out there. Again, it's just looking to see which one you find the easiest to use. because my philosophy is if you don't find it easy to use and navigate around that software, you're never going to use it. So make sure that it's something that you're comfortable with. Now, as I said, when they go to the landing page, they've opted in, you've now started sending them the emails. The next step that they're going to is your thank you page or your upsell page. Now, when you kind of first starting out, you might just have a thank you page just saying, thank you for downloading my report. Please check your inbox for further information. Now, as you kind of progress, you can then start adding bits to this. And this is what's called the sales funnel. So you're not just taking them through that one step, you're now going to be giving them extra options. So when they land on on your thank you page, you could potentially upsell them to a small or low priced product that you might be offering. That's kind of their first purchase with you. And again, it's starting to get the people on your list used to buying things from you. So if you have a small or a low priced product, you can offer this on your thank you page. So now it's not really a thank you page, it's now an upsell page. So you can then upsell them to that low priced product. If they purchase that, you can then upsell them to the next product, which might be at slightly higher value. And again, it's trying to get people used to buying from you. But also, when you look at these funnels as a whole, especially when I come on to the next point about traffic, you want this funnel to kind of be self-sustaining. So your low-priced product might be there as just what they call a loss leader. So that product is paying for, if you're using Facebook ads or something like that, it's paying for those for those ads. It's for so that you're not having to completely just throw money at it. It's kind of self-sustaining. And again, you can have, once you have these, you can have upsells and downsells. So if you present a product to them that they don't like, you might then say, okay, you don't like this. They click on the link saying, no, I don't want this product. You then take them to another product and see if they're interested in that. Now, my final point is the traffic. Now, there are so many different ways of getting traffic, and I think this is where a lot of people get hung up on, because they're like, well, I've built the funnel and all that, but I've got no one visiting the landing page. No one's downloading it. But unfortunately, what a lot of people think, and it's the same with their websites, is they think, I've built it, people will come. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. And you do need to market it and push traffic to these landing pages. Now, there's kind of two ways you can do it. You can do organic traffic, or you can do paid traffic. Now, let me go through paid traffic first, because it's the one that can give you the instant hit to the landing page and to get visitors. Now, there are different ways of doing it. You can do it through Facebook, you can do it through Google, you can do it through YouTube. Now, when you're doing these, again, you want to just make sure that you do know who you're trying to target with your client avatar, because that information will help you to target your ads to the right people. You don't want to just throw loads and loads of money at it. And unfortunately, I've heard some horror stories where people have set up the ads, especially on Google, and kind of set it to kind of run indefinitely, and they've totally forgot about it, and all of a sudden they've got a bill of thousands of pounds that they've now got to find the money for. Always keep a good eye on your ads, and especially on Facebook. Again, Facebook and Google are different types of ads. Facebook is your interrupt marketing, just like there are ads on TV. They interrupt marketing, where Google is more people searching for solutions. So it's a slightly different way of doing ads. Now, with Facebook, I've seen loads of strategies where you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can even just do it at £1 a day. So you create an ad and you boost it for £1 a day, and you can do that for a week to 10 days, and you can see how that ad is working. Now, if it is working, you can then start putting a little bit more money to that ad. But what that allows you to do is it allows you to create multiple ads and test which ones work. That way, you're not just throwing loads of money at ads, not knowing if it's actually going to work for you or not. You can spend small amounts of money, see if the ads are working. If they are, then you double it. So then you start at £2 a day. If it's still working, then you double it again, £4 a day, and you carry on until you're happy with the results. But paid traffic is going to give you that instant boost to your landing pages, websites, etc. But it does cost money. Now, there are other ways, and the kind of the organic way, again, plenty of ways of doing that. You can have blog articles that can be found by Google and other search engines, and on those articles you have links to your landing page. That's one way of doing it. Others is actually start to do more legwork, and I've recently read a book by Russell Brunson, and it's actually called Traffic Secrets, and the one concept that he divulges in the book is the Dream 100, something that you might have heard. Some people have heard it as the Dream 50. And that's where you create a list of the people that you potentially would love to collaborate with in your industry, for instance. You write out that list because those people are potentially got lists of your ideal clients. So write out that list. Join groups, Facebook groups that they might have created or that they are in. Because if you can then go in these groups, and again, don't go in those groups and just spam links and things like that. You want to provide value, answer questions. People will then start seeing what you're doing. They could potentially go back to your Facebook profile, and again in your Facebook profile, make sure that you've got links to your landing pages, etc. On there, so that they can then click on that and then they find your landing pages that way. A lot of this is about providing value to those audiences, because once that starts happening, you might be able to do a collaboration with one of these people on your Dream 100, Dream 50 list. What would happen if they then sent out an email to their lists telling them about you and your lead magnet or your offer, etc.? That could be life-changing. So that's something that you need to look at doing. Traffic is not one of those things that is going to happen overnight unless you're paying for it. And again, use that Dream 100 to target the audience via Facebook ads, for instance. But the organic way does take a bit longer to set up and get working. But once you have, that's going to provide you traffic without having to spend any money. Now, all of these concepts and elements that I've discussed today can be found in my new ebook that I've written, and it's called the Online Marketing Starter Guide, and you can get it at jasonkruger.com/guide. And in there, I go through a lot of these elements in more detail, and you'll be able to find it there. So I hope that what I've discussed with you today is of use. And if you've got any questions, please leave a comment down below, and I'll make sure that I answer it for you. And if need be, I might even create a video for it. But if you do like the content of these videos, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit on the notification button, and you'll be notified when I next go live or when I next post a video. And again, if you are looking to get my guide, you can go to jasonkruger.com/guide. And as I said, I'm going to be going through all of these processes in detail in this ebook, and you'll be getting other training via email when you sign up for it as well. So as I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next week for the next live show.